what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to another Playback Thursdays. It's been on break for a few weeks, maybe a month, but as I said before, not every episode from Season 3 will make an appearance here anyway, especially not the ones that are under 10 minutes long. Today's re-airing is of Mega Man 3, which was done for Got Game in November, and of course this game is for the Nintendo Entertainment System and Nintendo's Virtual Console. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Enjoy this old review.
Hey gamers, it's K-Wing here, and if I'm here, then you know that it's time for another review. This time I'm reviewing the game none other than Mega Man 3, which was for the NES in 1990, and now it's been re-released on the Wii Virtual Console about a week and a half ago. So just sit back and relax and enjoy review number 88 of Mega Man 3. What's interesting is the story for this game actually comes from the NES manual. And basically what happens is Dr. Wily has said, I'm not a bad guy anymore, I want to work with you, so he and Dr. Light make new robots, 8 new robots, and they make a new super robot by the name of Gamma. And then Dr. Wily betrays Dr. Light, makes the other robots go crazy, and then Dr. Light sends Mega Man back into action. Mega Man has to stop Dr. Wily. But before you can do that, the player has to choose one of 8 robot masters to fight. Now each boss has his own world for you to explore, and after exploring the world, you then fight the boss. Once you fight and defeat the boss, you obtain his power, which you then use on the next boss, and then the next, and eventually you get the idea. Finally, you'll make your way to Wily World, where you'll have to travel through 4 new worlds and defeat Dr. Wily. Different than the last Mega Man games is Proto Man trains Mega Man throughout the game and helps Mega Man too. Now the controls for Mega Man aren't too complicated. In order to shoot, you just tap the 1 button, and to jump, you press the 2 button. What's interesting about the Mega Man 3 game is they've added a new play mechanic, and that is the Mega Slide, which is down in the 2 button. The gameplay in this game is actually very well tailored, and it's a lot of fun. I can't really think of any issues with it. Mega Man games on the NES have always had some of the best level designs. Now, Mega Man 3 is no slacker in this department. Just look at all the zany level designs. It really takes me back to great times when games were more than just about flashy graphics. I would have to say that Shadow Man stage is one of my favorites. At first you're like, okay, he's a ninja, so why does this level scream Flame Man? However, Gemini's Man stage is probably the best designed, at least in this Mega Man game. I mean, look at the colored blocks blinking in sequence to different colors. It's like giant Christmas lights! Well, what can I say about the music for this game? It's not too bad, but I've been really spoiled by the Mega Man 2 soundtrack. In any case, the music in this game does drive the action sequences very well. And don't get me wrong, the music isn't bad or anything. It works for most of the levels, including the Sparkman stage. Although this game did have some stages where the music just didn't fit the mood of the stage at all. To each his own, I suppose. Me, I'm just a very picky musician. Moving on to the sound effects. Now, if you've heard one Mega Man game, then you've heard them all, and that's not a bad thing. From Mega Man's jumping bleep sound effect to the Mega Buster shooting and destroying stuff, it all works. So that being said, I have no issues with the sound effects or really the music, but I still have my favorites, which would be Mega Man 2. I actually kinda like this song. I wonder if anybody's done an arrangement of it. I think that the first time that I heard about Mega Man 3 was during a commercial break for Captain N, the Game Master. Now recently I searched the internet to see if I could find any type of magazine ad or commercial. The only thing I was able to find was a Rockman 3 one from Japan. What I remember most about this game is Proto Man attacking Mega Man. Now looking back on it, you realize that Proto Man is only training his little brother. Although it doesn't look like Proto Man could be much of a fighter hopping around like that. Except maybe in this stage with the rocky terrain. I'm losing my original thought. Now, I remember when I was 7, I thought that Proto Man was a bad guy. Even after beating the game, I still thought Proto Man was evil. Especially the ending, but I was even more confused by it. But when you're 7 years old, you really don't understand everything that's going on anyway. Now, Wily's World Stage 1, for me, it looks very identical to the stage from Mega Man 2. The first time that I actually owned Mega Man 3 was a year later. Actually, right before Mega Man 4 came out, to be precise. See, when I was a kid, every year a Mega Man game would come out. And not every single Mega Man game would be like a great buy, and there were always pros and cons to every single one of them. But it was a great time to be a Mega Man fan. The last thing that I remembered about this game, always thought that the Robot Masters who were coming back from Mega Man 2 were ghosts. Rockman 3, The End of Dr. Wily, hit Japan on September 28th, 1990, and then came to the States in November. Mega Man 3 is famous for introducing the Mega Slide. Also, instead of Item 1 and 2, Dr. Light has created Robot's best friend, Rush. No, not that famous radio guy, I'm talking the Super Dog. Mega Man 1 through 3 are on the Wii, and they're only 500 Wii points. Actually, one steer clear of Mega Man 1. Just like with the Mega Man 9 review, I'll tell you guys the best order for getting things done. The first Robot Master you want to fight is Top Man. You know that guy that throws spinning dreidels at you? The easiest way to beat him is use your pea shooter and jump when he does a spin attack towards you. Shadow Man should be your next robot you fight, and just use the spin attack on him. 2 or 3 times should do it. Moving on to the next boss, which should be Spark Man. Use the Shadow Blades on him and he's toast. Follow up with Magnet Man and give a real charge with Spark Man's weapon. Use the magnets on Hard Man. Is that really his name? Oh well. When fighting Snake Man, you can either use the Mega Buster / Pea Shooter, or you can use the Shadow Blades, which I found out that works a lot better. After killing the Snake, use his weapon against Gemini Man to make quick work of him. The last Robot Master that you should fight should be Needle Man. Use that laser thing from Gemini Man and you can kill this guy in only 4 hits. Now for a little fun in the Rush Marine. Okay, to do this next trick, you want to take Mega Man out of the water and perform some old-fashioned fun platforming elements. Just hop to it and do it. Oh, you get the idea. Now, I don't understand why people say this level is so ridiculously hard. Not if you have the Shadow Blades, baby. Hey, it's that Yellow Devil. You know, that wickedly evil boss from the very first Mega Man game. Man, I hated that guy. This time, it's all about timing your jumps. Let's fast forward just a little bit. As you can see, just use the blue fist on him a couple times and he's history. Passwords worked on my Wii, and others have had similar luck with it. But that doesn't mean it'll work for you. Head over to the K-Wing forums if you're having issues still. Lastly, the glitches from the NES game still work. Just follow the directions listed above. For some odd reason, everybody decides to fight this boss first, even when you don't have the Rush Jet. Hey look everyone, it's the Disappearing Blocks of Doom, and this time they've added a fan to push you off! Terrific! Out of all the Mega Man 2 bosses, I've always hated Quick Man, and you know what? Mega Man 3 made me hate him even more! Because of that little crappy laser you have. That's what makes this hard, because if you miss, that laser has to keep bouncing and hitting things. This is my initial reaction to Quick Man. I died here. I missed that. I feel better now. Okay, so you don't have the Metal Blades from the last game. At least we have the Shadow Blades. Booyah! What's great about the blades is that they don't use up too much ammo and they annihilate all the enemies in this game. Plus, they are ninja stars. Sweet! I know the Metal Blades could shoot in just about every direction. It was common sense that the next Capcom Mega Man game they would tone it down. Still, the Shadow Blades are pretty cool, although most people prefer the needle gun, not me. Mega Man Ninja for the world! The only thing that they can't do is shoot straight down. But they can shoot in 3 directions, unlike the other weapons in this game. The other coolness factor goes to the Mega Pup Rush. The Super Doggy has a lot of uses, whether if you're using Rush to get an extra life, or you need a boost to hide from enemies. My favorite upgrade is the Jet, though. What makes this better than Item 2 is that you have the complete control of your altitude and descent. Hey, what happened to the music? The last upgrade is the Submarine. Same thing as the Jet, just underwater. As I mentioned before, Mega Man games for the most part have always had stellar game design. Back during the NES era, this was nothing short of spectacular. Part of the reason why people thought this game was awesome is because you got to fight 16 bosses. But then people were a bit bummed when they realized that you only got 8 powers out of the whole deal. Well, 11 counting the canine. Still, most people were annoyed that the other Robot Masters came back as ghosts and you had to face this bald robot 8 times. Nonetheless, these were small gripes, and all in all, the game was a great sequel to Mega Man 2. Still, I think this is one of the more simpler Mega Man games ever made, which is fine and dandy if you like that sort of thing. Unless you wanted to get your butt kicked over and over again. Sadly, I'm one of those people that wanted the game to feel more challenging, and I felt let down back in 1990. I wonder if the Wily Wars will come to the Wii VC. That being said, Mega Man 3 is a great game, and you can only hope Mega Man 4 is on the way. I give Mega Man 3 a 7 out of 10. Not bad, Rock. Not bad at all.